So with game week 5 right around the corner, I have finally decided on what players I'm going to play in my FPL team this week. So let's start off with the goalkeeper. In goal, I have chosen Salah, or Sa, however you pronounce his name. So the Wolves goalkeeper kept me a clean sheet last time out against Watford, which is really, really good. And obviously they've got Brentford next. And Brentford aren't the best attacking team in the league. And Wolves are at home, so I thought I'll stick with him in the net. And then my first defender and his fellow teammate, Nelson Semedo. So the reasons for choosing Nelson Semedo is he's an attacking fullback, he doesn't cost too much, and he created a lot of chances last week for Wolves and should have really scored. So you can kind of look at that both ways. You can think, well, he's created a lot of chances, which is good, because if he does score, he's going to get you an attacking return as a fullback. But at the same time, if he's not scoring these chances, that's not good, because he's getting into these good positions, but he's not being profitable for your fantasy team. But I thought I'll keep him in there. Brentford have got a good defence, but Semedo can get at it down that right flank, and he has the ability to get clean sheet points too, so that's why I've got Semedo in my team. And now the other defender I have chosen is Kieran Tierney. So you probably think Arsenal defender. Why choose an Arsenal defender? Well, if you don't know already, last season Arsenal had the third best defence in the Premier League. That says something. And Kieran Tierney is an attacking left back, so he can get down that left flank against Burnley, who are usually a very good defensive side, but they did ship 3 goals against Everton, and it was in quick succession. So it shows you they can be got at, and Kieran Tierney did have a good game against Arsenal, so he could well repeat that against Burnley. And now the next defender that I have chosen is Ruben Diaz. So he is sort of a mainstay in my team, and I'm probably going to keep him throughout the season if he doesn't get injured, because Man City keep a lot of clean sheets. They do rotate a lot, but Diaz starts every game without fail because he is the main centre-back for Man City. And also, he could be a threat from corners to get an attacking return. And they got Southampton this weekend. Southampton, they're a good side. When you watch them, they do play good football, but they're not the best in front of goal, and they're not the best defensively. So Diaz will probably keep clean sheet in that game. So that's why I've got him in my fantasy team. And now we'll move on to the midfield. So the first midfielder is Ferran Torres. So Pep likes to rotate a lot, but Ferran Torres has played striker the last 2 games. And previous to the game against Leicester, he got 2 goals against Arsenal. So unless he doesn't start, well, that'd be a pain. But if he doesn't start, I've got players to come off my bench. But if he does start, I do expect him to do well, because Southampton's defence isn't the strongest, and he is a good player. And although City don't have a striker, and a lot of people go, well, they can't win the league without a striker, they have got a lot of players who can get them 10 goals a season. Sterling, Foden, De Bruyne, Ferran Torres, Gundogan, all these players can get them about 10, 15 goals each. So that sort of is the equivalent of a striker scoring 30, if you know what I'm trying to say. And then, enough of that. But anyway, moving on to Mo Salah. So Mo Salah this week is my captain, because he's got Crystal Palace at home. They did play very well against Tottenham, and they do play well against the big teams. But Salah at home, he has a good record at Anfield, and hopefully he can get me points, and hopefully Liverpool can win, because I'm a Liverpool fan as well. And now we move on to the next player, which is Rafinha, who I've given the vice-captain to, because he plays on Friday night, and he's playing against Newcastle. And Newcastle, they're one of those teams who you expect every team in the league to beat when they play them, pretty much. And Leeds, they are a very attacking team. Haven't started the season off great, but you know they have the capabilities to score goals. And Rafinha is one of the key players in Bielsa's side. And I don't expect him to get dropped for Dan James. I think that would be Jack Harrison if one of them was to get dropped for the new signing. And now we move on to the next player, which is Diogo Jotter. So last night in the Champions League against AC Milan, Jotter came off around the 70th minute. So maybe Klopp is preparing him to play this weekend against Crystal Palace. So if he plays against this weekend against Crystal Palace, he could do very well, because Jotter is a very key player in that Liverpool team. But if he doesn't play and doesn't start, he can come off the bench. And if Liverpool need a goal, Jotter is the likely man to come off the bench. Salah, I expect him to start again, because I don't see Klopp dropping Salah. And then Mane, I expect to start, because he came on late against AC Milan. And then maybe I think Minamino might get a game this weekend for Liverpool. But it could be Jotter, and then they might play them in the League Cup next week. So hopefully it's Jotter for my fantasy team as well, as I love Liverpool. And now we move on to the strike force. So the front 3 that I have chosen this week is Raul Jimenez, Danny Ings and Patrick Bamford. So Patrick Bamford was my new transfer in. I took out Antonio, who's got a red card, and I was thinking, do I take out Antonio or do I take out Danny Ings? Because Ings has got a harder fixture this week, and he's got Man United and then Spurs. But Antonio's got a red card, so he's not going to play this week. And let's say, for example, Ferran Torres doesn't play, or because of the rotation at Man City, or Jotter doesn't play, or Bamford doesn't play, or whoever doesn't play, then you don't have a quality player to come off the bench. So that's why I thought I'll stick with Danny Ings and get rid of Antonio, despite West Ham's fixtures starting to look good in the upcoming weeks. And then I chose Raul Jimenez because Wolves have got a good fixture against Brentford, and they've got a good run of games. For like the next 10, 11 games, they are absolutely outstanding. And yet Jimenez, Hasn't got an attacking return this season, but I do expect him to get one soon. He is really good when he's at his best. I know he's come back from long-term injury, so he's probably a bit rusty, but once he gets the rhythm going, I expect him to score goals. And then, like I said, Patrick Bamford was the final addition to the team, took out Antonio, and he's got Newcastle. So hopefully Rafinha and Bamford on Friday night can get me a big haul to get me a big green arrow before the actual proper weekend starts for Premier League. And then on the bench, I've got Guaita, Castagne, Lewis Dunk, and Ben Rama. So I put Castagne first bench because I do expect Leicester to do well against Brighton. I know Brighton are a quality side and do keep a lot of clean sheets, but Castagne is an attacking fullback and he can get down that right flank and create chances. So he's on the bench just in case any of my players don't play. And then we've got Lewis Dunk, who's been outstanding for me this season. I feel really mean putting him second bench, so I might shift him to first bench or I might put him on my first 11. But as it stands, he's second bench and then Ben Rama's third. And Ben Rama started the season off exceptionally, but he's tailed off in the last few games and they've got that new signing, can't remember who he's called, but he came on the other day and he may well start against Man United, and even if he doesn't, they are a good side, so I don't expect Ben Rama to get too many points in that game, but you know, he just might, and that's the bad thing though, because he's owned by about 30% of the game, so if he does well, doesn't look too good for me. But yeah, that is my team as it stands. I don't think I will make any changes, but if you want to see if I make any changes, I will post it on my Instagram. I've said that countless times this season and last season. Oh, I'll post it on my Instagram, check my final team, and I haven't really. I've only done it once, which was game week 2. But yeah, my final team will be posted on my Instagram on Friday night. If you want to go check that out and want to see what I've done, I'll post it maybe in the afternoon sometime. Or Friday night's tomorrow. But yeah, as it stands, that is my team that I'm going to field for game week 5. And as usual, guys, if you have got any questions, comments, anything to do with FPL, put in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer everyone. And yeah, just have a little chat with you guys in the comments. Also, if you have enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.